What's up, y'all? It is StrawhatYomo, and we got
It's your boy, Dcentos. I'm back in the
yeah,
building. What's up with it? What's up with it?
yeah. So we are back with another video. We're talking about Attack on Titan, the final part, 2.8 remix edition, part
Mhm.
3 of 5 times infinity.
Final
So
mix, man.
final mix, yeah,
300
final
over
mix,
50 in 7 days.
final mix re-edition, the remaster version, Last of
hmm
Us.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah. So we're talking about Attack on Titan, the movie that
Mhm.
came out, and yeah, we're just
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
it's finally here. It's finally here. I know we've been waiting all this long, all this time for the show to finally end and finally release
hmm
its final season after saying that they're going to drop the last season. A couple of years ago when I was still in grad school. And now I'm
Yeah.
done. So, but yeah, it finally came, and so we're just gonna talk about it.
What I do want to
I
say
don't know what to
though,
start off with first, but you can go ahead.
I'm not. I'm gonna say some stuff around it, surrounding it right now. First and foremost, we will be spoiling this, so if you haven't seen it,
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
watch it. Like, why are you on this video and you even watch it? Go watch it now. What I will say is, I think this not only was this long awaited because it's been 10 years. Like when you think about it, it's been 10 years since we've been watching Attack on Titan. And what did they say? Like, the Titan lifespan is 10 years or 13 years or how 13 years, right? And this show took 13 years to make. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not, but what I do want to say is one, I wish this came out in theaters. Because I think if it came out in the theaters in the US, I think it would have probably broke records. Because I think right now, I think Demon Slayer might have that record for like most like viewed like animated piece of content in the United States from like a different country. So I think that would have been cool. But what I really want to talk about, like first, is just how this broke the internet. Like like this broke Crunchyroll, this broke Twitter, and people were talking about this for weeks. They were talking about this ending for weeks. Like this was like, this was like the Super Bowl of anime. Like people were just talking about it and talking about it, like
hmm
memes, Twitter, Instagram, just kind of everything all around. Um,
yeah. I was gonna say that even when the manga ended, which was about a year or two ago, I want to say that was still making rounds on the internet for because people did not like the ending for one,
mm,
just because of what a certain character did that we'll get into later.
yeah.
But yeah, they were not a big fan of that. They're like, wait, I stayed with the show for 10 years just for this.
hmm
Me personally, I thought it was pretty straight. I thought the ending was
Yeah.
pretty nice. I enjoyed it. And the anime to be even better as well too.
Mm,
But yeah, like just like how the anime, the movie broke the internet, the manga broke the internet. And you also gotta realize, like, y'all, we've been watching this show since I've been watching it since 2013. It
yeah.
is 2023 now.
Same.
It just ended 10 years, 10 years.
Mhm.
Like people, I'm 28. So I started the show when I was 18. Now I'm 28. That's
Yeah.
insane to hear that,
Exactly, bro.
like,
I was in high school.
yeah,
I was like,
I was at the end of high school. Yeah.
yeah.
So
It's crazy to think about because I remember when Attack on Titan was originally airing, like the first season. I was watching it when it was
yeah.
originally airing. Like like
Yes.
like that's crazy to think about that we just kind of come full circle. But
We come full circle with all this, and Attack on Titan, it's a lot of people's first anime as well too. It's a lot of people's first dark anime as well too.
mhm,
We had people dressed up in the whole outfits doing the whole, little salute. So this is a big anime. It's a big
yeah,
anime.
yeah, for sure, big. And there's so much to talk about this movie, but it's kind of, basically it's the end of the rumbling, right?
Yep.
And first and foremost, because we're spoiling everything, I think, you know, let's just say Mikasa kills Aaron, right? And to be honest, I wasn't even surprised. Like like I
It was hinted.
like I like they because if you remember, I don't know if it was the last season or the season before, but I think Annie was like, she looked at Mikasa in the face and was like, "If it comes down to it, can you kill Eren?" Right. So not only is that foreshadowed, but if you think about the whole show, like it makes sense for Mikasa to be the one to kill Eren. Like it just makes sense based on how the show is written. And honestly, if that surprised you, no, actually, if if the fact that Aaron died surprised you, you probably weren't even paying attention. Well, let me say that first and foremost. That should not be a shock to you that Aaron died. The fact that Mikasa killed Aaron should also not be a shock. It's 'cause to me, it's right there in your face. Like it was just like, oh, okay. I'm just waiting for it to happen.
Everything was pretty much foreshadowed. If you go back and watch on it,
Hmm.
people even kind of like show it in the anime. Like, look at how this person was looking at this other character, little things
Hmm.
like that. Everything was pretty much foreshadowed. So Aaron dying, like it had to happen, like this guy's doing a mass genocide, like there's nothing you can't just walk away with that and be alive. And Mikasa is the only one that had to do it because she's the one that's closest to him.
Right.
Yeah, Armin is close, but it takes a whole nother level. It has a whole nother meaning for Mikasa to do it. So I
Yeah.
wasn't really surprised about that um at all. It was the execution. I was like, oh, okay, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't that surprising.
Yeah. I think I think when I talk about the show and especially this, I think the animation was absolutely beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Mm,
Mappa. I don't know what y'all do to your employees.
yeah.
Y'all overworking them.
Mhm.
I can't condone it, but
Yeah.
come on now. To
Yeah.
get this good quality of work, I'm sure you're telling these people you can't see your families for at least a good,
Mhm.
7 weeks. You
For
gotta finish
sure.
the
For
show.
sure.
I know that's what they're doing.
Cause you remember that scene? I think it was Mikasa and Levi. I don't even remember, but like I think someone
Yeah,
threw
they're
like
diving down.
the diving down, they threw like the spear and they was like,
Yeah.
yo, the animation absolutely beautiful. I have to give it that. I mean, the whole movie
The
was
whole movie was
it
amazing.
was it was it was everything we had wanted, we had expected.
And I was gonna say, I think it's Isayama is the Attack on Titan creator. But he really knows how to like bring up the pressure and the stakes on these like fights and the situations. Cause there are so many times where you're like, oh, this is over. Like we can't, there's no way they're gonna make it out of this. And I just kind of appreciate that because you don't really see that too much in anime, or it's kind of predictable, like, oh, they're gonna be able to get out of this. But Attack on Titan keeps you on your toes throughout. There's so many times you're like, okay, he's gonna die, he's gonna die. Even the last part where they kind of stopped the rumbling, right? But the characters, that little alien things are spewing out that gas,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and everyone was like, oh snap, this is the same thing that Zeke was doing. And everyone turned into Titans. I was like, oh my goodness, bro. Like, there is no end to this. Like, what are we gonna do? So I appreciate like Isayama putting in like knowing how to write these good scenarios and troubles that these characters are going
Mm.
through.
Even that scene, you remember what the they were passing the baby along? You remember that scene?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
that was pretty crazy. Got the Titans chase them. They were passing the baby along, and then I think
Crazy thing about that baby. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but crazy thing about the baby is that even that was foreshadowed in
yeah, yeah. I was gonna
the.
say yeah, it
You
was
saw
yeah,
that? Yeah, yeah. I was
yeah.
gonna say that. So they had foreshadowed this. If y'all have not seen this, on I don't even know what part of the Attack on
Mm.
Titan. When
I think when they went to the city for the first
Yeah,
time,
well, so when they're in the city for the first time and they're undercover, you see a lady walking with that same baby with the father as well too. They're walking
I
by.
think she was pregnant. Was she? I don't even know if the baby was even born yet.
Oh no, no, the baby was born.
The
I
baby was
think the
born.
baby was born. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay. I thought okay,
yeah.
okay.
Because she was walking past Levi, I believe, or Aaron. It might have been one or two. I think Aaron had looked at her and then just started like tearing up. And that's the same baby that they're passing by at the rumbling. They're trying to say like, "Hey, we can't let." The mother had already fallen off a cliff, but they're passing that baby along as like symbolizing the hope for humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And so you really don't realize the scales of things because you're like, oh, these are just like 100-foot tall, humans just walking around. But like, no, this man Aaron like killed off a good
Yeah,
80%,
80% of the population.
80% of the population. That's
Mhm.
insane to think of. All for
Yeah.
his friends.
Mhm. Yeah. What else? I think not this is a random moment in the movie, but I found it so funny, right? So you remember the point where with they had this plan, right, where Armin's like, yeah, I'm about to I'm gonna go up there and like and explode and whatever, like on top of everything, right? And then he gets I guess like he gets hit by one of like the Titan like statue minion things, right? And
Hmm.
it's like and not only did him in the mouth so he can't breathe because hey yo, but
Yeah.
like but but I remember it was like what was the animal? It was an okapi. Okapi, whatever. It was
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought that was so funny because like they were like they were trying to point it out, and Annie was like, "Yes, the Okapi," and Mikasa was like, "What the heck is that? What is an Okapi?" And then I had to look it up myself. So I looked it up on Twitter. I was like, "Oh, that's Okapi." Then I saw people commenting about it on Twitter. I was like, "Oh, that's what it looks like. It's like a half horse, half like
Kinda, yeah. It's like something
donkey."
I've seen before, but it's not something you would know, like, oh yeah, that's no copy. You would think that's just some random, I don't know, random
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
I just thought that was funny because she's like, "What the heck is that?"
Hmm.
That was a little funny scene, but I think,
Hmm.
man, I think when it comes to this, unless you have another favorite moment, what I really want to point to is really the ending and how you
Yeah.
felt about the ending. So I got a couple of points. Let's see here. All right. Let's see what else happened in the ending. I mean, we could talk about Levi killing. I have Levi killing the Beast Titan or killing what's his name? Can't remember.
Zeke.
Yeah, Levi killing Zeke. Like he killed that man immediately.
Yeah,
Uh,
and Zeke is, he wanted to die as well
mm,
too.
yeah,
So it was like kind of like a finale to that fight, the long battle, because
yeah.
Levi would try to get him and
Hmm.
Levi would tear him up and then Zeke
Hmm.
would kind of tear him, so it's back and forth. So I
Okay.
thought that was well done. It had a conclusion to it.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what are the ones that the ending wise.
Yeah. Because really, what the ending people are just Twitter was split. People were saying that the ending was not satisfactory.
Oh, because of Aaron. So that's the main thing about the manga as well too. So when Aaron was crying, saying that no, I don't want Mikasa to date
Yeah.
anybody else, you know, um basically showing that like all this was planned, but he didn't want to do it. He ran through all the different possibilities, but he didn't want to do it. And I was like, okay, I feel like that was a good ending. Like I didn't think it was
Hmm.
anything bad, to be honest. He was being honest about his feelings. I think some people wanted him to stick. They had that vision of him being that ruthless killer,
Yeah.
and like y'all had to realize that that was all a persona. Like
Yeah.
he wasn't like that. He was just
Yeah.
trying to save his friends.
Exactly. Because like if you remember correctly, beginning of Attack on Titan, Aaron was losing every single fight. Like this man was
Yeah.
not. He was not that. He was never that guy ever.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't surprise me. Um, I mean, when we think about that scene, I think Armin punches him in the face, whatever, kind of as like a little revenge for what
Yep.
he did back. But I think that scene. I think the ending is fine, but I can kind of understand why people didn't like that scene, especially about Mikasa. It's never really portrayed about his feeling towards her. Like that's never really explored at all. I
What
mean,
Aaron's feelings towards Mikasa?
I don't think it is. I mean,
Um,
Mikasa like Aaron, we know that, but
yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
know that. But vice versa, I was like, it felt kind of
Brother sisterish kind of.
I want to say jarring that the fact that he said at the end, I was like, I feel like that line didn't need to be in there, but I mean, I get it. Um,
I
but
I can see it, but it wasn't strongly implied, is what I'm gonna say.
okay.
That's what I would say about that.
Mhm.
So like I said, Aaron crying, all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Now, is that surprising? No, But at the same time, I can see how people can see that as
Mm,
surprising because you have a certain character saying that, "No, forget this. I'm gonna go rogue. I'm gonna do my own thing. I build my own coup.
mm,
I'm committing genocide, all that kind of stuff." And so you're rocking with that kind of vision that he has,
mm.
and all of a sudden you see him switch, and he's like, "Nah, that was all a persona. I never really want to do that." So I can understand where people are coming from, but this is Aaron we're talking about, so
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's Aaron, right? I mean, because really, Aaron's personality really only changes throughout the last season of the show. That's when it really changes.
basically, and that's when people started, and that's why you see people started liking him as like their
Mm,
favorite character and
okay,
everything.
yeah. So I mean, so the fact that it's an act isn't really that surprising to me. Yeah. I mean, other than that, though, I thought the ending was fine. I think there was an idea that people wanted Aaron to, I don't know, find a better solution, right? Because
There wasn't though. That's the thing.
yeah,
Aaron literally went through all the different possibilities in this
mhm,
future, and it
yeah,
all led down to like
mhm,
there was no other way. It was either like his friends dying and he living, or
yeah,
like there was no balance. So there was the only way that everybody that he cared for was able to live.
yeah,
And it's crazy thinking about that because all those events that happened, Aaron's the one that caused it.
yeah,
You know, Aaron's mom dying, Aaron was the one that caused it.
yeah,
um that one in the first episode where the dad is staring out the door, he's
mm,
staring at Aaron, like
yeah,
everything Aaron has caused. And it's just crazy that he took up all that burden,
mm,
and this is like the only way to do it. But you also saw in the end that what he did only allowed for a few hundred years of peace. But
yeah,
he knew that because he was like, okay, well, this will allow my friends to live in peace for this moment.
mm,
After that, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I don't care. But as long as my friends live in peace for
yeah,
this next few like 100 years, I'm fine with that. And you see that's what happened because in those 100 years there was peace. Mikasa got with Jean, they had a
mm,
baby.
yeah,
Then Mikasa passed away. She was buried right next to Aaron,
yeah,
and then that tree is growing. But then you see the other side, which is the outside world, bombing Paradise as well too,
yeah,
as revenge. And then and Paradise is also trying to bomb them as well too. And it gets to the point where you're in the future where, and we don't know what happens, but
yeah,
we're in a future where the tree that Aaron or that Mikasa was buried at is now like this big giant
yeah,
tree,
right.
and it's like a hole in it, kind of symbolizing like there might be another that
The attack on Titan.
like that Titan alien thing that
Yeah,
might be there. I don't know, but there's a boy and dog that
yeah,
wander in there. So I thought that was interesting as
yeah.
well too.
Yeah, and I think that just highlights on the fact that there are cycles to things, and there are no perfect solutions, which to me is a fine ending. I mean, because people said,
Yeah,
Aaron should figure it. Aaron should have figured out a perfect solution. Like, first of all, even if he was smart enough to, first of all, no, first of all, he's not even smart enough to do that because at the end, Aaron's like, he says, "I'm an idiot." He's like, he said, "This is the best I could come up with," which makes sense. I was like, Aaron's not Shikamaru. Aaron's not Lelouch. He's not Light Yagami. He's not a genius. Like, this is the best he could do, killing 80% of the world to you know maybe make his friends look like the heroes, which was dumb. But I mean,
it
that
worked for
it was
a couple hundred years.
it was
It's real.
it was realistic to Aaron. Like, that's the best he could do, right? And I mean,
I
I
mean,
and I mean, the fact that you were saying that, it's gonna eventually it's gonna come back again. I mean, like, that's life right there. Just cycles there. That's life. Like, you can't just have
that's
peace. That's
That's
life.
what it is. That's what it is as well too. And like it's just a cycle of hatred that just keeps on going over and over again. Because I remember, this is off topic, but you got Naruto and Pain with the whole cycle of hatred, and
Mm,
I forgot what Naruto's answer to that. But that's not true. Like that's
mm,
not how it works in real life. And then the creator of Attack on Titan just gave it a real approach about this as well too.
exactly.
The cycle of hatred doesn't end. You even see it nowadays. I'm not gonna say with what war, but we all know what war is going on.
Exactly.
But it's like you see one side bomb
Mhm.
another side stays quiet for a little bit, then to go back and bomb the other side. It just goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Sadly, there is no solution at this moment,
Yeah.
but that's just how it
Yeah.
is.
That's like that's war. And I say, the unpleasantries of war and what happened. So I mean, I can't really, I can't really be mad at Aaron for coming with the solution that he came up with, because it was, I think it was the best possible one. Um, let me see if there's anything else about the ending. Yeah, I think the last interesting piece, at least in my opinion, is the fact that Aaron actually went back to talk to everybody. And like he
Oh
erased
yeah,
he
yeah,
erased
yeah,
he erased their memories. I don't know. Was that in the manga? Cause I
yeah.
heard,
That was.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I don't remember him talking to everybody. Maybe he did.
Not
It's been a
everybody, but
minute,
he
but
did talk to people. Like
yeah, he
he talked.
basically did, and
But,
everyone was like, "You idiot," because they remembered.
yeah.
But I forgot because, and again, I wish Attack on Titan. Maybe this was mine as well too. I could have watched it from the beginning, and then
Mm,
when that movie came out, watch that as well too.
mhm,
But there's some things I forget as well too. 'Cause I was like, how did Aaron get the power to forget, like erase memories as well?
yeah,
Like little
yeah,
things like that. Where I was like, I don't know.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Because there was that scene. I was watching it back. I think it was when Aaron first touched the founding Titan. What was name? The
yeah.
princess, and then like
Historia,
yeah, his story, and then his eyes go wide open.
because all of his memories
Yeah.
they come back
Mm. And he doesn't say anything, but that's like a key scene. I'm like, oh wow, like
is very.
yeah. I'm like, maybe I should go back and actually rewatch everything now, knowing what I know, because I think it's like that. This show reminds me of what is it? What's it? This level of writing reminds me of an Avatar: The Last Airbender or a Full Metal Alchemist, where the show is created with the end in mind, and it is very obvious, and I
Mhm,
think that's like to me that's masterful writing.
mhm.
That you have the ending in mind while you're writing a show, and you put in like little details and details here and there, and everything comes together at the end. To me, that is very very masterful writing, and I think the last part of the show is where does Attack on Titan stand in terms of like is Attack on Titan the greatest anime of all time?
Um,
I think that's where the debate is now.
I think I think that if this show was to come out all at once, right? Say maybe we got like a year apart for each season,
Mhm,
or even less than that. I think it stands up there. I put it in my top five.
mhm,
I put it well. My top five always changes in terms of like good story.
mm,
It's there. It's definitely up there in the top five. Because I was even talking to my homeboy. So check this out. My homeboy doesn't watch anime. Country. No, he recently just got into anime. Now he's big into it.
yeah,
But I told him about Attack on Titan, and he's hooked. He finished it all, and he was like, "Man." Now, mind you, he watched it about a year ago, where he caught
yeah,
up. So he's everything's still kind of fresh in his mind, compared to all of us. But he was like, honestly, after everything, hold on. Okay, so it's about 10 minutes left.
yeah,
But he was saying that after everything that he's watched, he was saying that like all the shows, whether it's anime or not
mhm,
anime, movie, everything, he was like, Attack on Titan is like the greatest like fiction I've ever seen. Like it
yeah,
is that
yeah,
amazing. He said, I've never seen anything like do that to where it takes you to one point where you think it's this and now leads you to this. Because we all thought that this is a story about a guy trying to beat these monsters.
yeah,
Whole time, this is way more than that,
mhm,
and I love that. So,
yeah. I think for me, when I look at like the greatest anime, I mean, you could say I think I think it's easily because it's kind of hard to heart when you talk about the top anime because you kind of have to look at errors too.
oh yeah,
But to me, this is the greatest anime of the modern era. So if I say the modern era is anime that came out from 2010 and up, that I think easily Attack on Titan is easily the greatest modern anime. I mean it's top five. It's probably number one because I think for the community itself, the greatest anime was probably I want to say Full Metal Alchemist, like Brotherhood in terms of story, and I think this show clears Brotherhood easily. So, uh,
Brotherhood gives you that good ending.
yeah,
Attack and Titan gives you that realistic ending.
yeah, yeah,
So that's how I give it. They're both good animes. It's hard to put one over
yeah,
the other one. They're both
it
really
is.
good.
Uh,
But
yeah,
yeah,
um, and then maybe of all time, but I think I think the show might be. I think it's not my choice as my favorite anime of all time because my favorite anime is probably I don't know my top my probably like Steins Gate, Planet, or some slice of life show because that's what I like personally. But when I think of like modern anime and what's the great of all time, like it to me this is the textbooks this is the textbook answer to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just like man, it it's almost undeniable at this point because
Mm-hmm.
if someone tells me that you don't think Attack on Titan is at least top 5, I think you're just a hater. Like I don't even think it's like even it,
I
it's one of those things that I don't think is actually up for debate. I think you're just a hater.
It's just one of those shows that's just great. Is that
Yeah.
amazing? Now, if you're not into the whole gore and stuff, I can see that's another reason why you won't like that. So I
Mhm.
understand that. But the show is just
Yeah.
amazing. Like I to this day, I have never seen a show like bring the community like this. I This show is so big. You guys just need to be there when the show first came out. And remember, the first season came out, and there was a good like 3 or 4 year gap before the next season came out. And during that gap, everybody cosplay as Attack on
Yeah.
Titan took over. It was
It did.
crazy. It was crazy. I don't know what show is doing that now at this moment, but
Hmm.
Attack on Titan was going crazy during that time.
I agree.
There were I would compare Attack on Titan to how Demon Slayer was right at that time. It
Hmm.
was that big. It was that
Yeah.
big.
Yeah. I think the word I'd say about Attack on Titan is undeniable.
Oh yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
can't deny its greatness. It's undeniable.
All
And
right, so we got like 6 minutes left, but I just want to say that overall, the movie itself was amazing. The
mhm,
show, the entirety of everything is amazing. I just
mhm.
love how this put everything all together, and this show will definitely get a rewatch. It will
Yeah,
definitely get a
it needs to
rewatch.
get a rewatch.
Um, I don't know what I would in terms. Now, are we rating just the movie, or are we rating like the entire show all together? Now that we've seen it all,
At this point, you could probably rate, and it
the
doesn't
entire
matter.
thing.
That doesn't matter because my I already know what my score is, so it doesn't matter.
It's a 10. It's a
Yeah,
10,
it's a
y'all.
10. It's a 10.
It's a 10 for
It's not.
sure. It's a
It's
10.
a 10.
Like
Yeah,
nothing, I'm sorry, nothing has touched this kind of thing before.
yeah,
There are great shows out there, don't get me wrong. There are
yeah,
great shows, but the
yeah,
kind of plot twists that are happening in this show, there
yeah,
are things I just never saw coming. I was like, wait, no. Like, how'd you think
yeah,
about that?
yeah. This show's a 10 easily.
So
You know, I like what was I gonna say? It's just a plot point. I just like the final point. I like what kind of sunsets the show for me is like Levi's ending, and I think he's like the last one of like his original squad.
and the
Yeah,
shout out to them actually showing like the other people as well too,
yeah,
like saluting him.
yeah,
Was it? I mean, I don't know if it's real or not. Maybe it was, but just them in the afterlife, just saying like, "Hey, you did
yeah,
that." He was the only one as well too,
mm,
and we got Connie and Jean, the only two
mm,
from the survey corps, right?
yeah.
They were the only two left. Who
Yeah.
would have known out of everybody? They were the only two to survive. That is crazy. That's
That's
crazy.
crazy, man. I think Levi even shed a tear. If I remember
He had
correctly.
to. He's crippled now.
Yeah,
He was
like
crippled.
Hanj, Commander Irwin, everybody
Hanj
just
as well. She went out like a G. Let's
yeah.
not forget about that. She went out like a G.
So it was great. It was great.
So
That's all I have to say, man.
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Standing ovation.
Applause. That's I'll give you your flowers, ECM.
Yeah,
I'll give you your
give
flowers.
'em- yeah,
But yeah, that was our review of Attack on Titan. Let us
yeah.
know what y'all think. Tell us the score and everything, what y'all think, whether you liked it or you hate it as well, too.
Mhm.
There are people who hate it, but you're delusional, delulu. But
Delulu.
but yeah, that's what it is. Anything you want to say before we close?
Undeniable.
Yep, undeniable. Well,
Undeniable.
you heard it here, y'all.
All right.
Um, that's it. Y'all have a good one.
We out.
Peace.
Peace.